What's up, guys? Toby and I just got to a park where we're gonna go find a nice little place, hopefully sheltered because it's pouring today, but that's not gonna stop us from going and hanging out and enjoying nature. This is one of my favorite places to be. So we're gonna go out and we're gonna go find a little sheltered area to go sit so we can chat. Seriously though, like, hikes are the absolute best. This is 100% my happy place. I love going outside. If I'm ever even feeling like even slightly off, hi, buddy. The answer for me is just to always go outside. It's like I can just feel any tension just melting away every time. Toby, hi, buddy. Oh, did we find the perfect spot? Oh, did we? Yes, we did. Buddy, this way, this way, this way. Hey, that bench isn't for you. What's up, gamers? Welcome back to the channel for your daily dose of good vibes, but today we're doing something a little different than video games. Obviously, it is raining outside and I am living for it. Come here, buddy boy. I love the sound of rain. I think it is so calming. Anyway, yes, today is my birthday. I am a quarter of a century young. If you guys are new to the channel, this is Toby. He is a Parsons Jack Russell Terrier. He is the mouthiest dog I have ever come across in my entire life, but I love him dearly. And I thought that, you know, I get to know a lot of you guys in the comments in all of my gaming videos. I don't know if you guys know a lot about me, so I thought that I could make this kind of Q&A video in celebration of my birthday, and also in celebration of, honestly, just this insane growth, you know, in such a short amount of time and being so new to YouTube, like, just to celebrate this growth that we've been experiencing here on the channel. I thought it'd be fun that since we have so many new people in the community to just kind of have you guys get to know me a little bit, who this person, you know, human, is on the other side of this camera. So I asked you guys under the community tab, you know, just to kind of shoot me some questions. If there's any burning questions that you have that you want to know a bit more about me, to write them down below in that post. And I was really happy to see a lot of the amazing questions that you guys had. I don't mind getting personal. I mean, yeah, it's the internet, whatever, but just because it's the internet, I don't feel like I need to hide who I am or, you know, not share exciting things that have happened to me in my life and exciting things that I hope to happen in my life. So I have them written down here because otherwise I probably would have forgotten them. And some of these questions require a bit longer and more well thought out answers, so I had to write those down as well. So if I am looking down, just bear with me. I am actually looking at my cheat sheet. One of the first questions I got was, have I ever traveled overseas? If I have, where? And after this whole pandemic is finally starting to settle down, where would I like to go afterwards? I love this question because I have been fortunate enough in my life to have been able to travel like everywhere. I have seen so many places, and I hope one day that people get the chance to experience something very similar. Go out, explore this world that we're all sharing together, because I can tell you from experience, there is so much to see. There are so many people out there that have life experiences that are well worth listening to. I actually had to write down a list of all the places that I have been because I don't think I could remember them all if I were just to rely on my memory. The places I can think of right now with my limited human memory capacity, I have been to Canada, you know, neighbor to the north, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba, which was actually a very interesting experience. I went when I was like 14. Very cool place. England, Hawaii, France, Portugal, which is beautiful. I love it there. I would 100% go again. Spain, Italy, which if you're like me and don't really like the heat, the intense heat, don't go in August, just saying. I don't think there was a single day that dropped below 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I am used to moderate weather. I like the winter. I like seasons, so. The one place that I've been to that is probably my favorite so far is Croatia, and why I love it so much is it holds a special place in my heart. That is where pretty much my entire ancestry is from. My grandparents were from there. My mom, that was her first language. It was not my first language. My first language was English, but I have pretty much been heavily embedded in the language, the music, the culture since I can remember. The cities there were absolutely gorgeous, one of them notably being Dubrovnik. It is gorgeous. It's where they shot some scenes from Game of Thrones. If you are ever able to make your way out to Croatia, it is just by far one of the most beautiful countries I have ever seen, and that is probably one of them that I would go back in a heartbeat if I had the chance. Where would I love to go next? I have too many places to count. I mean, if I had the ability to, I would go to freaking space. I would go see the moon. I would go see planets, but alas, I can't right now with our current human condition. But some other places on Earth that I would like to explore is really want to go to Switzerland. I'm in love with mountains. I really want to go to Ireland. I just feel like the culture would be really fun. My grandma's been there a bunch of times and she always just has nothing but amazing things to say about it. I think there's a train. Also, sorry if you can't really hear because of the rain. I don't really know how the microphone sounds on my phone, so I'm just gonna hope for the best. Oh, there it is. All aboard the hype train. It's like this train knew the E3 just happened. Hi, buddy. Oh, no, it's okay. You don't have to be scared. So yeah, Ireland. Oh, Scotland. I love the accents, and I think that the culture would be amazing. I want to pretty much visit all of the UK. I really want to go to Australia and New Zealand. Love the accents. The country just looks absolutely gorgeous. And New Zealand, I want to go visit the little hobbit houses from the Lord of the Rings because, I mean, isn't that like every nerd's dream? But I think if I had to choose to go to one place first, it would be any Asian country. I really want to go see China, and I really want to go see Japan. Japan for the food, and again, like the culture. I keep harping on culture because as somebody who's traveled and somebody who likes to think a lot about life in general, I think it is so important to travel and to go experience things outside of your own little bubble. Number one, it gives you way more gratitude for the things that you have. It gives you a really good perspective on other people, their thoughts, their ideals, their values, why they do the things that they do. And I think it gives us just a better understanding of how each other, everybody here that shares this planet together, like how we operate and how we can better get to know each other and understand each other. Clearly I had a lot to say about travel because, again, I just think it's one of the best things we can do for ourselves here to just appreciate our time here on this planet. But the next question I have, we're gonna do a little bit of a detour here. Did I like crust on sandwiches, and do I currently eat crust on sandwiches? When I was a child who had even more limited experiences, I did not in fact like crust. I thought it was gross. I thought it was, ooh, there's a spider. It's fine, it's just sharing our planet. Everything has its purpose. But it can just serve its purpose a little bit farther from me. Do I eat crust on sandwiches? I didn't when I was a kid because I thought it was gross, but I do now because I realize crust is just bread. It's just doing carby things, and like you know, like the crust didn't really choose to be crust. So like I feel bad judging it when it's just there. It just wants to be loved and eaten and, you know, consumed and being made into energy. Next question is, what games do I get the most nostalgia from? Ooh, I love this question. Okay, one of the games that I actually just recently started binging like entire playthroughs of, like non-commentary playthroughs, just so I can listen to the music and listen to, what do you call them, like the voice acting and the, you know, when you go like and like the, I don't know what those are called right now. Tomb Raider 2 from PlayStation 1 days. I have so many fond memories. This was before I could even hold really a controller because I didn't really know what I was doing. Before those days, I remember just the mere sound of my dad pulling out the PlayStation 1 and clicking the on button and hearing like the turning on of the station. This is probably where like my love of streaming and watching people play games and experiencing games through other people started, because watching him play these games was one of the best memories that I still have to this day, so much so that I wanted to re-experience that and watch playthroughs of it like a couple months ago. I did it like a couple months ago. The lines from the game and like the noises that Lara Croft would make, like when she would climb up on ledges, like those are so heavily ingrained in my brain. The Amazing Spider-Man from PlayStation 1 era, again, amazing games. I've played through that one and beat it countless times. If I were to watch a playthrough of it right now, which I probably might after making this video, I can recall every single line word for word. Like, I will recite it as I am watching it. I've played it so many times. Also, pretty much any PlayStation 2 game, to me, that was my favorite era of gaming, next to early Xbox, like the Xbox 360 days, because that's when I got an Xbox, was when the 360 came out. But yeah, pretty much any of the PlayStation 2 games. Notably, though, Bounty Hunter. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and that game, again, has so many lines and so many catchphrases and sounds that just are heavily ingrained in my brain. Ooh, I really like this question, because some people actually found my channel through the Life is Strange games, and I actually attribute a lot of my channel growth to those games. So Life is Strange people, I love you so much. You complete me. The question I got was, which Life is Strange game had the most impact on me? Okay, I hate to pick favorites, so I don't really have a favorite, but I have one that had the most impact on me, and that was probably the first one. A, because it was the first game from the series that I played. That game was one of the first games that I ever played where the story, the characters, the dialogue, the hidden messages, the symbolism, everything that encompassed the game taught me so much about myself, made me look at myself, made me really self-reflect in a lot of ways, and it wasn't like I was looking for it. Like, it just kind of happened when I was playing it. It really made me think about a lot of things. I think one of the biggest lessons it taught me was to not really judge any situations. What the heck? Oh my god! I was like, what the heck is that? It's the spider trying to get into my screen. I might have to cut this part out because I know some people have like serious arachnophobia, and we don't want that. But I don't want to do anything bad to it. Of all the places you could go scurry off into, like, into my camera? Like, really? Okay, sorry. You had a little bit of a visitor there. I think I will name him George. George, you have a good day, George. Life is Strange really taught me not to judge really any situations for how you think they are, right? Because how you think things are is never truly how they are. It's just, you look at everything from your own limited experiences, but that doesn't necessarily mean that things are as black and white, as good or bad. And I got this because there was a lot of things throughout the game that Max would do. Like, she had the ability to turn back time. Wish I could turn back time. You know, she would turn back time to change things that would happen, but then in thinking that she fixed something, she would go back in time, but then things would go a totally different way that was also not as desirable. So it made me stop and think, like, maybe we just need to accept things as they are and not always try to be in control of life. We just let life happen, you know? Things don't have to necessarily be good or bad. It really just is how you look at it. So if you choose to look at things in a more positive light, your outcomes and your life is going to reflect your attitude toward things. Trust me, I didn't expect a video game such as Life is Strange to cause me to think about so many things like this. Next question. Best memory as a kid. I love this question because it actually made me think a lot. I had to put a lot of thought into this answer because sometimes our memories can fail us. Sometimes I think of things, I'm like, did that actually happen? Like, I'm not even convinced that actually happened the way that I thought it did. My favorite memories as a kid, and I think the things that happened to me, or the things that I did as a child that really morphed me into the person I am today, was performing. Pretty much any memory I have of me being on stage performing in any capacity, whether it was musical theater, drama club, theater classes, improv that I took. Some of those classes and those experiences were some of the best learning and growth experiences that I've ever had in my life. The joys of being outside. One of the scariest things that we can do as people is put ourselves out there in front of everybody, like, even if it's one or two people or a group of hundreds of people. To put ourselves out there vulnerable for people to judge, as a lot of people do, it can be the scariest thing ever. But when you learn to overcome that, it is the most magical experience, because you do kind of have to have a certain sense of, you know, being comfortable in your own skin and not really caring what other people think about you. And every single time I performed, whether it was a big part, a small part, every single time I did that, I learned something from it. I learned a little bit more about myself. Not to mention, it's the best thing you can do to bring yourself out of the past, out of the future, and bring you and plop you right in the present moment. It's cool to be able to kind of turn your own ego off and just become another person, become another character, and throw yourself into that and really just make it whatever you want. Have the most fun that you can possibly make. Like, I have so many memories right now flashing through my brain of performing in school, in high school, doing community theater, and what I wouldn't give to do it again. And, you know, and why can't you? Like, just do it, you know, do it. Favorite color, that's easy. I love pink and I love purple. And depending on which day it is, it can either be pink or it can be purple. Today it's pink. Another question is, do I find time to play games offline and just for myself? And the answer is yes. I think taking time to play games on your own or with friends out of the public spotlight, like on YouTube or if you're a streamer, I think that is so important. It is important just to have time to yourself. When I was a streamer though, when I was full-time, I left no personal time to play. And I think that heavily impacted my mental health negatively. But since starting YouTube, yes, I have so many games that I play offline. I am not afraid to try any games at all. I love playing with my friends offline, like while not recording. So yes, I am always playing games because I love games and I love to experience them on my own just as much as I love to share them with other people. I like this question. Was there ever a time that you weren't super awesome? You know, I've learned to love myself and I just accept the fact that I am awesome. However, it depends on who you talk to. I'm sure some of my family members might say that I have been a pain in the ass since I escaped from the womb. But all in all, I think the most important thing is how I view myself, because I thoroughly believe that if you love yourself first and foremost, loving everything else just comes so easily. Like this little guy right here, he's like a good boy. Another question I got was, if I could have one superpower, what would it be? This was a hard one. I don't want this to sound weird because materialism is whatever. If I'm being dead honest, if I could have any superpower, I would want to make money materialize out of thin air. I like money. Money is great. To me, money symbolizes freedom to do anything, to travel. It gives me the ability to live out my desires, pretty much. And also, I love the idea of being able to materialize it and just give it away to people who need it too. I love money for myself, but I also want people to experience the amazing things that they deserve to experience in life. And in our current situation, society, civilization, money is the tool that allows you to do that. It is the material object that we have given value to that allow us to do pretty much whatever we want. So, as much as sometimes I hate the illusion that is money, I understand the value and the purpose of it. But another superpower that I would love to have is, I don't even know what superpower you'd call this, but whatever would allow me to explore space and the universe and just to understand the truth of everything. Like, I love learning, I love knowledge, and I love exploring. So anything that gives me the freedom and the ability to explore the vast universe that we are a part of would just like, woohoo. My brain can't even fathom what's out there half the time, so it's so intriguing to me to just understand everything and anything. Like, that to me, that's fun. Another question I got was, so to preface it, somebody, and I remember this comment actually, somebody posted in one of my videos in the comments, like, they were like, are you sad you're not growing really fast? Or are you sad you're like a smaller YouTube channel? But then the person who asked this question specifically said, how do you feel after reading comments like that with the recent growth that you've experienced when somebody thought that you might not grow? And my answer to that is, if you were talking to me from like 3 months ago, I probably would have let a comment like that get to me. But I fully understand now that I am the only one in control of my own thoughts and perceptions and reactions to things. I don't take things like that personally because, and as a content creator, I've been in this game for a long time. There's ebbs and flows all the time. You will hit moments of extreme, overwhelming growth. And then you will hit periods where you experience no growth or opposite of growth. I think in whatever times that you're experiencing, the most important thing is your own personal, emotional, mental stability. and just being prepared for whatever is thrown at you. I didn't see that comment as very negative, because I understand that they only see one half of the equation. They don't see everything else that's going on, you know, the work that goes into everything, and just how much I'm just enjoying the journey regardless of, you know, numbers on a screen. Am I excited that the growth has been really quick and pretty good? Yeah, I'm extremely excited. Do I fault that person for asking that question? Absolutely not. I think it's a very valid question. The person was curious. But sometimes, actually sometimes, when I get those kind of questions of, you know, questions that could be perceived as somebody like limiting you and your ability to do things, I just love to prove those people wrong. Like, that just fuels me. I don't get down about it. That shit fuels me to be like, I can do it, dude. Another question I got is, what are some video plans for the future? And going back to my previous question of not limiting myself, I would do anything and everything that comes into my brain that inspires me. I am super passionate about video games, so I think I'll always kind of revolve around video games in general. But when I get the opportunity to travel to places that I've never been to before, I don't see why I can't do vlogging, travel videos, everyday normal stuff, just pretty much anything that inspires me in the moment that I want to share with people, I would be down to make a video about. Another question I got was, have I ever played Mass Effect, and do I have the Legendary Edition, and would I play it on the channel? Yes, I have played the Mass Effect games before. Only 2 and 3 though. No, I do not own the Legendary Edition, even though I wish I did. Maybe, hopefully sometime soon in the future if I have some free time to sit down and play it. And would I play it on my YouTube? And the answer is heck yeah. Another question is, do I play with viewers? And my answer to you is, as long as you are a nice human being with a heartbeat and the ability to be kind and not judge other people for things that they cannot control, then yes, I will absolutely play with you. Viewers are humans, and, you know, I choose to be on one side of the screen and you choose to consume that, and I think that every person has the potential to be a friend, and if the timing is right and we just happen to link up and play, you know, that'd be cool. Ooh, I loved this question when I got it, and this one made me think too. Which video game character would I have lunch with, and why? And my answer to that, after I thought about it for a little bit, was obvious. I would have lunch with Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. Pretty much my only reasoning for that is for me, she is the epitome of badassery. I don't know if that's a word, I just made it a word. What's the definition of it going to be? I don't know, I'm gonna leave that up to you. What's a good definition of badassery? Another question I got is, would I be a content creator full time? Many of you guys might not know this, but people who are in my live streaming community, when I did primarily live streaming as my content, I actually was a full-time content creator streamer on Mixer before it died. Rest in peace, we love you. But thank you for all of the experiences that you gave me. I was a full-time content creator there. I relied on it every single day. I relied on it financially. It was my job. After the platform went under, after moving back to Twitch and continuing that like lifestyle that I had of being a full-time streamer, I just realized at the time it wasn't for me, so I stopped. Would I be a full-time live stream content creator again? No. Would I be a YouTuber full-time? Yes. In doing my experiment with YouTube when I stopped streaming, doing what I've done over the past like 6 months of doing YouTube pretty much, I love the freedom it gives me. I love the fact that I can, you know, kind of react to people and engage with people on my own time when I have time. The freedom of content, like the content type, I think is so diverse, where when you stream, you really have to be present in the moment. You have to be there, you have to sit down, you have to engage for 4+ hours. You know, it was a huge time commitment, not to mention financially unstable. YouTube has just made me so incredibly happy in the past, you know, 3 months. It allows me so much creativity, and it has probably been my favorite creative outlet so far. The potential is unlimited, really. Another question I got was, did I like Cyberpunk 2077? And my answer is yes, I did. Regardless of all of the negative stuff that happened on the internet with it, I personally enjoyed it, even with all of its flaws and its bugs. Number one, I played it on PC, so I experienced significantly less graphical bugs than a lot of other people that played it on console. I thought the world was gorgeous. Do I think the world in and of itself could have had more things to do and more immersion factors, yes, but I think the character building was astounding. The dialogue was great, the characters were lovable, the potential was there, and I think even as a day one game, it had the right idea. I just think the execution wasn't the best. And all we can do instead of chastising them and beating them down and, you know, getting angry at the developers, because a lot of it's not the developers' fault. I mean, and I'm not even in a position to be able to cast judgment and say whose fault it was. I don't know. I am completely ignorant in most of this situation. All I can say is we hope they learn from their mistakes, and we hope they do better and create great products in the future. Another question I got is, what are my top 3 games? And why did you only give me 3? There's too many to count. So I would say top 3 is probably Skyrim, Fallout series. I'm putting all the Fallouts in there. And the Life is Strange games. Life is Strange, best story games to date. But some notable mentions are Witcher 3, Dying Light, Halo. Halo is the reason I play shooters, and I have such an intense love of video games. Oh, and BioShock. You cannot forget the BioShock franchise. If you haven't played, highly recommend it. Best video game atmosphere. It was probably one of the most immersive video game experiences I've ever had. Another question I got was about Halo. What's my favorite Halo campaign? Easy, Halo 3. And what's my favorite Halo multiplayer? And that was Reach. I have so many fond memories of me and my brother playing for hours, playing Headhunter, King of the Hill, Slayer, Big Team Battle. I mean, that was probably the most fun I've had playing a multiplayer Halo game. Another question I got is, what are my ambitions for YouTube? Well, because I am in love with YouTube as a platform, YouTube content creation in general, the freedom of it, my ambitions are, I can't even really give you any concrete ambitions because I want it all. If I can get my hands on it, I want it all. If I could be a full-time content creator on YouTube, just doing literally all the things that I love in life, why would I turn it down? I would say yes tomorrow. So pretty much my ambitions for YouTube just comes down to doing it as long as I am happy. Oh, you guys trying to start a fight here on the internet, aren't you? Somebody asked, what is my most controversial game opinions? And I have a couple, and okay, these are all, I just gotta preface this by saying these are all my own personal opinions. In no way, shape, or form are they incorrect or correct. Take them with a grain of salt. Don't get mad. It's just a video game. I was very disappointed and still continue to be somewhat disappointed by Fallout 76. Also being such a big Fallout fan, I don't consider it really like a true Fallout experience. And that's probably just comes from the multiplayer aspect. I appreciate the fact that people love it. However, I am not one of those people that, like, can give it any more of my time, if that makes sense. I think it still has potential. I'm still open-minded. I still want it to succeed. Maybe one day it'll be the game that I was hoping it would be. But as of right now, I don't really have the time and the energy and really the want to play it. Again, don't hate me. I thought Death Stranding was the most boring game that I have ever attempted, like, ever in my history of playing video games. I'm so sorry if you love that game. I'm so sorry. Really, truly, I am. I just couldn't do it. Oh, favorite band of all time? ABBA. Easy. Done. Period. End of story. Do not cross go. Do not collect $200. ABBA is the greatest band of all time, in my opinion. Another question I got is, when did I start streaming? And that answer is, I started streaming in January of 2017, and we are in, June of 2021? Math. About 5 years, give or take. Another question I got is favorite movie, and again, there's so many to choose from. And then you gotta, like, consider all the genres, because all the genres are different and amazing in their own ways. So let me start off with scary movies. Best scary movie of all time, in my opinion, is Hereditary. I've watched it 9 times, and every single time I watch it, it scares the crap out of me. And there's always something hidden that the director put in that movie that I didn't notice until the next time I watch it. Every single time. I've watched it 9 times. That means 9 different times I have discovered something new that the director hid in there, or some cool symbolic thing that foreshadowed something else. It's just incredible. Favorite movie musical is Phantom of the Opera, hands down. Some people don't really consider it to be that great of a movie. cinematically, whatever. I love it though. I love the story, I love the musical, I love the songs. It is just my all-around favorite. Then I have a lot of movies that I loved as a kid, like Labyrinth is one of them, Wizard of Oz, Sound of Music. Really liked Interstellar a lot, even though I always tend to fall asleep around like one point in the movie, but overall I appreciate the movie. And the last question I got is, what is my life goal and why? And this is one that I think about a lot and still think about pretty much every day. And I think I've come to really one conclusion, and it's always the simplest answer that's the best one. My life goal is to seriously just be happy in any situation, to learn the ability that no matter what life throws at me, to just be an immovable force in the world, to embrace the happiness when it happens, and also embrace all the, I don't even want to say bad experiences, but all of the learning experiences. In doing a lot of soul searching recently, I have come to realize that nothing is truly good and truly bad. It all comes down to how you view each individual situation. And I used to be a victim of my own emotions and feelings, and I was very sensitive, and that led to a lot of rock bottom moments, I would say. Coming out of that and understanding that I have total, complete power over my emotions and my thoughts and stuff, my goal was to put that in practice every single day and to literally just be happy all the time, regardless of what life throws at me, because I can't ever control what life throws at me. Everything is a learning experience, and that's what it comes down to for me, is everything is a learning experience, and what can I walk away with? What knowledge, what understanding of each situation can I walk away with that'll help me in the future, that'll help me understand more about me and the world and how it works, and just the future of everything. And then obviously I want to get to a point where I'm so financially stable that I could really do whatever the heck I want, whenever the heck I want. And having an unlimited source of money would be great too. I've realized that anything truly material is not really worth putting so much emphasis on, because one day it's not really going to mean anything. What really is going to mean something to me is everything that I learned throughout my life and all the people that I impacted. And I hate sounding super cliche, but I'm dead serious when I say that this is all things that I think about all the time, and these are ideas that I try to put into practice literally every single day of my existence. Happiness is worth it all the time. People who say otherwise, in my opinion, are okay with giving that control over your own emotions to other people. Living your life for other people is not a way to live your life. My goal is to live life for me. I would love to impact people along the way, and if I can do that, then I feel like my job here is done. If I were to self-reflect, I want to know that I had the capability of being happy every single moment while being here. So that being said, I think I'm going to start wrapping up the video now. I really appreciated all of the questions. I think all of them were amazing and very insightful, and again, had me doing a little bit of self-reflecting in a way, which is a journey that I always love to go down. I love self-reflection, and I love thinking about like the bigger picture, the greater ideas, the things that aren't tangible, that we can't really taste, touch, see, feel, etc. Thank you guys for joining the fam and for subscribing to the channel and just being along for the ride, whether it's video gaming or maybe even eventually traveling, or just videos like this where I chat, I evolve as a human, and maybe you are interested in seeing that happen as it happens. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely leave a thumbs up. Toby is now laying down, but he loves you and he appreciates you and wants you to have a great rest of your day. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. And who knows, maybe we'll do another one in the future. I really hope so, because I enjoyed this a lot. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!